Hello, welcome to Balance Me Yoga. My name is Maya Elliott, and I am a registered yoga teacher. I just finished my yoga training in February, and I had started teaching at a studio in Chicago, and then this pandemic hit. And I also work full time as an occupational therapist in schools. So life has been pretty busy since everything has kind of shut down, but those schools have shut down, they really haven't. So I've been very busy, but I've just been trying to figure out how to still be able to create some great yoga content to share because I still love to practice and I want to be able to teach and share my practice with others. And so today we're going to just do a very simple beginner's flow. First, I'm going to start off by just showing some chair poses that we'll be doing. So we'll be doing poses on the mat, and those who may need a chair, I'm going to show what that can look like. So you can fast forward probably after this a good 5 minutes forward until we actually start the practice for those who don't have any interest in knowing what to do with the chair. So I'm trying to do that so we don't have to keep interrupting and showing what to do with the chair versus when we're on the mat. So for those of you who may be using a chair today, what you'll do, you can use a dining room chair, and here's my video, still working on editing so that people can see my complete head. But you can use a folding chair or a dining room chair. You're going to want to make sure that that chair is able to sit right on the edge of your mat. And when we do any sun salutations that maybe require us going into downward dog or a plank or cobra, you can always come up, bringing our arms up, reaching forward towards the chair, pulling our shoulders away. I'll give you all the detail of that once we're in it, but you can always use this chair to hold on for support, whether we're doing a forward fold or if we're doing downward dog and you're having to just step back a little bit to get that feeling of a downward dog. If we go into a plank, you can bring your hands to the sides of the chair to go down into a plank if you feel comfortable. You can also continue to hold the chair and feel yourself going into your upward dog or your cobra. And then you can come back to your downward dog using the chair. Now we'll, during the practice today, also do a high lunge and a low lunge. So you can use the chair as well. When doing our lunges, you're going to bring that front thigh that's going to be in the front, depending on whichever foot I say goes out front. That one is the one that will come over the edge of the chair the most. You'll have that leg behind you. So this is our low lunge. And then if I say we're going back up into a high lunge, you're just trying to lift up, maybe bringing that front thigh off the chair a little bit. We're going back down, you're sitting back down, trying to bend that back knee. That's our high lunge versus low lunge, okay? So then we also, during our practice, may do what's called chair pose. So in chair pose, is what it's called, it's a chair. So those who don't need a chair may be able to hold it here. Those who do may want to go ahead and sit on the chair. So it's okay to go ahead and sit on the chair if you need it, or if you're able to, you can kind of try to balance as if you're about to sit down and have that chair as that reminder. But if you need it, go ahead and sit down, okay? All right, so that's the little intro for the chair side of things. I'm gonna move it out the way. Okay, so now if everyone can take a nice, comfortable position on your mat, you can lay down. Some people like to do more of a seated meditation at the beginning as we center. Whatever is comfortable for you. I am recommending to do the supine mountain where you're laying flat on your back. If you like, props are always good. So if you don't have the typical yoga blanket, which I have a blanket, like this. You can have a blanket like this, or you can use a beach towel And you can roll it up so then when you lay down, you can kind of have it right under your knees as a cushion. Keep you nice and comfortable while you lie in your supine centered position, whatever works right under your knees. So you're just taking a nice comfortable position on the mat here. You can lay with your hands, your palms down. Your feet can be towards the edges of the mat, closing your eyes. So while you're in this position, I want you to just keep your eyes closed and start connecting with your breath. Maybe start taking in any sounds around you. There may be sounds outside of your home. There may be sounds inside of your home. I want you to just take in those sounds and notice the things you're hearing. As you do that, I want you to start to move a little more internally, noticing the sounds, thoughts, and all the things that are running through your head that are maybe creating a different space for you as well. And within that space, start to notice those thoughts, those feelings, maybe thoughts that, you can look at, you can watch them, you can let them pass you by. Allow those thoughts to just be thoughts. Allow them to move. Give them the space they need. Start to continue to look even more internally towards what you're looking for tonight. What you're hoping to gain, or not even gain, just if you just want a little relaxation, a little strengthening, just some time for yourself. What is it that maybe you are hoping you can work towards this evening? Something for you. Taking the time for yourself. I want you to start connecting with your breath even more now. Maybe notice that feeling in your belly as it rises when you inhale. The feeling of your belly as it empties when you exhale. As you lie there and you connect with that breath, we notice if your shoulders are up towards your ears and allow them to just relax away. Allow your neck to relax and rest against your mat, your spine into your mat. Just allowing those body parts to relax as you connect with your breath. Taking a nice inhale, exhale. Bringing that beautiful air in, letting all those things out. Maybe notice how long it takes you as you take an inhale, counting it in. Maybe it's a few seconds. And as you exhale, notice how long it takes you to get that breath out. Maybe it's shorter or longer than that inhale. But as you continue to connect with that breath, start trying to make sure those inhales and exhales even out with each other. So if you're inhaling for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds. Let's take a couple more breaths. Noticing that count of the inhales. Noticing the count of the exhales. Now we're going to start connecting to that Ujjayi breath. We'll try to close our mouth but allow your tongue to rest away from the roof of your mouth. Inhale in through your nose. And as you exhale, you're going to release that out through your nose as well, feeling a little bit of tightening in the back of your throat. Almost as if you're making the ocean sound or a snoring sound. This Ujjayi, this victorious breath, this is the breath that you will rely on, you will come back to throughout your practice this evening. Use this breath as your inner voice as we practice, as we take ourselves, as we guide ourselves through this flow. We're going to slowly start to wake ourselves up. Maybe start wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Maybe gently move your head, taking your gaze from your right side. You don't necessarily have to open your eyes. Just gazing towards your right shoulder, through your eyelids, so your eyes are still closed. Just keep them closed. Coming back center on an inhale. And as you exhale, turning the head towards the left, as if you're gazing towards your left shoulder. Coming back with an inhale towards the center. Maybe slowly start blinking your eyes open. Still lying down on your backs. Now from this position, lying down, let's go ahead on an inhale. Let's bend our knees. As you exhale, walk those feet and those heels out towards the edges of your mat. And we're going to start doing what we call the windshield wiper. So maybe bringing that right knee down inside, that left knee outside. Inhale as you bring it back up. Exhale as you drop them down towards the right. Your hands are still down flat against your mat. Slowly connected with your breath. Nice inhales and exhales. You bring those knees up and down like a slow windshield wiper. We're not moving fast. We're just gently warming up our hips, warming up our legs, getting that lower core started as well. Warming it up. Now from here, on your next inhale, when you bring it back center, we're going to keep that left knee bent. You're going to bring that right knee up and cross that right foot over your left knee. And we're just going to hold it there for a moment. I just want you to notice how you feel. Maybe take your right hand, bring it against your right knee. Push that right knee away a little bit. Maybe you feel a little bit of stretch happening through this part of your thigh. As you push that knee away, keep that right foot flexed. Good. When you're ready, I want you to bring that left foot away from the floor, but that knee will be bent, so it's at a 90-degree angle. Maybe you bring your hands behind your thighs. Maybe only one hand holds there. Maybe the other hand holds at that right knee still, pushing it away, while this left leg is pushing in. So the left leg is pushing the right leg in, but the right hand is trying to push the right leg out. And if you want to increase the challenge a little bit and you're up for increasing the challenge, you can always take your hands down and allow your own leg muscles to do that work. So right now my left leg is pressing in while my right is pressing out. I'm not using my hands to assist me. I'm just trying to see how much strength I can use on my own. Keeping those feet flexed. And you'll feel something different when you do it that way. Now, through this stretch, connecting to our breath, I'm going to take my leg. My right leg is now going down like I'm bringing my foot to the floor. So still in that bent knee position, just bringing that left knee down, that right foot towards the mat. So it's up as if it's just sitting up. Now you can lay that right foot down. That left knee is on top of on top of the right foot. And we're just going to take a gentle supine stretch here. And bring those arms out to goal pose if you want, or out to a T. Maybe take your gaze over to your right shoulder. Just going to hold the stretch for a couple breaths. Noticing the sensation you feel through that right side body as we stretch it out here. On your next inhale, we're going to bring it all back up again, still looking as if we were still holding that supine pigeon position. Connecting to our breath as we bring that right leg up, bring that knee down, left foot down as well. Now we're going to do it on the left side. So we're going to take that left knee up, bringing it over to the right. Again, we're going to just feel that stretch to see how it feels as we put our left hand on our left knee, pushing it away, keeping that left foot flexed. Our right foot is still on the floor. Knee is bent. Connecting to our breath, just noticing that little stretch you get through that inner right thigh here, a little bit, pressing that out. Now, we're going to lift that right leg up. That left knee is now still bent, flexing our feet. Now we can take that the right hand and bring it underneath the right thigh and try to still push the left away, or we can just hold both hands under as we try to pull it in towards us. Our head is still against the mat. If we want to try to increase our resistance a little bit and see how much of work we can do without our hands, you can always take your hands away and just feel that motion as you try to bring that right knee in while that left leg pushes out, connecting to your breath. When you're ready, we're going to do the same thing, keeping that same position as you roll towards the right. Bring that right leg down, left down, and then slowly bringing that left knee down. Finding that stretch through that left side body while my right knee is essentially lying against my left foot. Just finding that stretch through my entire left side body here. Nice deep side twist here. I'm going to let my left arm out to the side. I'm going to bring my gaze over towards my left shoulder. Connecting to my breath. Notice the sensations as you connect. Maybe it feels good. Maybe it feels better on this side than it did on the other. I'm not sure. Everybody feels something a little bit different every time. Maybe the side's a little bit tighter. Just notice that. We'll notice all these different subtle changes in our body as we go through these different poses. Now from here, we're going to inhale as we slowly come back up, back into that supine pigeon position. All right, we're going to release our feet back down towards the floor. All right, on our next inhale, let's bring our knees to our chest, holding on here. And we're going to do a little rock and roll, okay? So either you can get up by just rolling to your side and sitting up, Or you can work a little bit of core here as we just slowly find ourselves rocking forward gently as we come up. Seated, crossing our legs, taking our hands down towards the mat, and we're going to come into our tabletop position. So from our tabletop position, our hands and wrists are directly under our shoulders. Our knees are directly underneath our hips. My belly is pulled in towards my spine. Connecting to our breath here. Let's do a couple of cat-cows. So on the cat-cow, first for cow position, you're bringing your head up, dropping your belly down on an inhale. On an exhale, you're pulling that belly in, bringing your head down as if you're a cat screeching at someone. Just pulling that belly in. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. We'll do 2 more. Inhale, just warming up our spine gently. Exhale, cat. And as I roll through these, my shoulders continue to stay away from my ears. I'm not hunched in. I'm keeping them away. My belly is still tucked in towards my spine. The tops of my feet are flat against the floor. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Now from here, we're going to find a little balance in this position. First, we'll start by keeping our hands on the floor, just grounding in through those hands, shoulders away from our ears, belly in towards our spine. Let's bring our right leg out behind us. Just letting that toe touch the floor. Just noticing how that feels as you stretch it out. So I'm going to turn towards the camera for this. So my right foot is still just stretched out behind me. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that right leg, bring it in towards my right knee, and bring it back. Back in towards my right knee towards my right elbow, and bring it back. Right knee towards right elbow, and bring it back. Now I'm going to take that right knee towards the right elbow, but I'm going to let my foot touch the floor. And I'm slowly going to rise up. Bringing my hands up towards each other, palms together. Inhale here. My toes just still out to the side. You can just keep your toe pointed forward. Or you can point it out to the side. Whatever feels most comfortable for you here. Again, pulling my belly in. My shoulders are away from my ears as I bring my arms up. Now I'm going to lean towards that foot, just stretching. Bringing that right hand down, and that left is just stretching right over. And maybe, I'm not coming forward here, maybe I consider taking that left shoulder, rolling it back a little bit, feeling my heart open, feeling my gaze go up towards the ceiling, connecting to my breath here, just feeling that nice stretch to that left side body, but not collapsing into the right side, still allowing that right side to feel that work as well. Connecting to our breath. Good. Now I'm going to come back up, bringing that left arm up, bringing the right to connect with it, going back down. Hands and wrists under our shoulders, bringing that right foot, right knee back underneath our hip. So now, same thing. We're going to do the left side. I'm going to take my left leg out, just letting that left toe out behind me. Those are my blocks, sorry. Just letting that left toe go right behind me, just to stretch out, just touching the back of the mat. And as I do that, just getting that feeling, that grounding feeling where my hands are grounding through the floor, keeping my shoulders away from my ears, pulling my belly in. I'm going to bend that left knee, bringing it towards the left elbow. We're going to just do a couple of those. And then tapping that toe back. Bringing it in on inhale, exhale. Try not to look up at me. Keep your head down. You're gonna just bring that left knee towards the left elbow, tapping those toes back. Shouldn't be moving our head. Shouldn't be leaning too much to the right like I just found myself doing. Just bringing that left elbow and left knee together. Now, I'm going to take that left knee as if it's coming towards the left elbow, but I'm going to stick that foot out to the side again, pointing those toes towards, I'm pointing my toes towards you. So those toes should just be forward. Okay? And from here, so now I'm going to take that. Inhale up with both hands touching each other, palms together. Taking a nice inhale here. When you're ready on your exhale, bringing that left hand down and that right over. Feeling that stretch through that right side body. But again, I'm not collapsing to the left. I'm feeling that stretch through the left, while at the same time feeling the even deeper stretch through my right side body. But I can get it a little bit deeper if I just roll back a little bit, feeling my heart still moving forward, bringing my gaze up towards the ceiling. Connected to my breath here. Good. And notice the difference from this side to the other side, and how if this feels a little better than the other side or maybe a little bit tighter, but just notice those differences between our left and right sides and how these poses affect each side of your body. So now on an inhale, we're going to come back up, bringing that right arm up and bringing the left to connect. Inhale, exhale as you bring those hands back down into tabletop. Now, those who may want to use a chair here, we're going to be moving into our downward dog. So you can always have your chair ready. Of course, putting your chair on your mat if you're going to be using the chair for downward dog. If you're not using a chair at all, don't. So, if we're in our tabletop and we're going to move into our downward dog, first we're going to just slowly lift those knees off the floor. Just feel your knees hovering a little bit above the floor. As you feel those knees hovering, you feel that belly pulling in towards your spine. You're going to feel your hips rise up towards the ceiling, rolling those shoulders away from your ears, feeling your scapula, that winged spine, that wing part of your shoulder girdle, rolling down your spine, essentially. Okay? And if your heels don't touch the floor, that's okay. Maybe start pedaling it out a little bit. Just feel that pedal. If you need the chair, of course, make sure your chair's on your mat. We don't want anything to slide. Finding that same motion. Your hands are in front of you, where you can gaze at them. But you want to try to bring your gaze in through those arms. Pushing back. Looking down towards your feet as if you're looking at your belly. Okay? Connecting with your breath. That's a little slippery right there. Good. Now what we're going to do from this downward dog. So I'm going to my chair. So if I'm in downward dog, I'm just going to slowly walk my hands towards my feet. I'm going to just forward fold here. If you need the chair, of course, keep your hands up on a chair. For some people, blocks might be good. So I should have said before, make sure you have your blocks near you if you have blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can always use a really thick book as well, as if needed, to help you. Just to help you essentially get a little bit of space here while you're in your forward fold. But otherwise, if you're able to forward fold without the blocks or chair too, we're just trying to reach down, putting a soft bend into our knees, feeling that belly still pulling in towards the spine, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale on our halfway lift. So our hands are on our shins, just below our knees. Or you can put your hands up here on your thighs for your half lift. No matter what, in this half lift motion position, you want to look like you're in the position of a number 7. So we're pushing those hips that way while the crown of our head is going that way. You'll hear a lot of double negative type of things here in yoga. So while one thing is doing something else, going one way, the other part of your body is going another way. We're always finding those opposites here in yoga, just to challenge those parts of your body. So finding that figure 7, pulling that belly in, shoulders away from the ears, hips are pushing back, while at the same time your head is pushing forward. Exhale as you forward fold again. Inhale as you slowly roll that spine up. Bring those hands up, palms together. Bring it here at heart center on an exhale. Inhale as you bring those hands back up. Exhale as you forward fold. Inhale on a half lift. Exhale as we forward fold again. Inhale as you bring it back up. Slowly rolling that spine up. Hands at heart center here on an exhale. We'll do one more half sun. Bringing those hands back up again. Folding down to the exhale on our forward fold. Inhale on that half lift. Find those hands pushing against the shins. Those hips pushing back. Bring that belly in. Find those shoulders away from the ears. Exhale on that forward fold. Inhale as you bring it all back up. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Finding that rise here. Rooting your feet down into the ground. Exhale. Good. Now from here, we're going to go back up. And as we go down, we're going to go down into our plank. And then we'll kind of move through our sun salutation. But then we'll start moving through some of our standing poses. So we're going to keep it simple. But make sure your blocks are near you. If you do have blocks, or if you have a book that can raise up that you can put your hand on, or if you want to use the chair, definitely have that near as well. So first, we're going to come back up on an inhale. Exhale as you forward fold. Inhale as we halfway lift. Exhale as we forward fold. Now we're going to walk those hands out and those feet into our plank position. So our hands aren't underneath our shoulders directly anymore. We're going to just bring them out a little bit forward. Just about another palm or two distance in front of the shoulders. Those feet. So your feet are down. Your toes are down on the mat. Okay. Trying to keep that lift here. Holding that belly in. So we are going to hold our plank just for a couple of breaths. Good. And if you are using the chair, of course, and you're holding the plank, you're trying to hold here in that plank position. You can hold right here. Try your best. And when you're ready, we can go into our cobra. So from the chair, I already showed you all how to kind of your tops of your feet are flat against the floor. Going into that back bend here. But if you are not using the chair and we're down on the mat, bringing your hands next to your chest here. On an inhale, I'm just going to push up. Bringing your gaze up. My shoulders are still away from my ears. My belly is in. I'm not flexing my butt cheeks. I'm still relaxing them, but I'm keeping my thighs against the mat and the tops of my feet against the mat. Inhale. As we exhale, we're going to curl our toes back down towards the mat, pushing up into downward dog. And let's take a couple of breaths here. Good. Maybe if you need a sip of water, this is a good time. We can bring those knees down towards the mat, bring those big toes together, spread those knees out as you press your hips down towards the backs of your feet into your child's pose. You can have your arms out in front. You have an active child's pose here. Your forehead is against the mat. I'm going to have a sip of water. All right, you're doing good. From this child's pose, I'm going to slowly come on up. Good. And we're going to come back up into our downward dog. Okay, from our downward dog, we're going to take that right leg up and maybe try to step it forward. So, if you can't step it all the way forward, that's okay. That is more than okay. You can take that leg, you can use your hand and help you bring it forward to the top of your mat. This is where you may want to use your blocks or your chair. So you can use your chair as a support here in front of you, or you can just use your chair simply using it as a support as you do the pose as well. So first I'm just going to show you guys what I want you to do in the pose itself. And those who are using the chair to support themselves throughout the pose, I'll remind you of it again as I get into it. But first I just want to show everyone how to get into the pose. So what we're going to do here is we're stepping into just a high lunge, crescent pose. We're bringing our hands up on an inhale, connecting to our breath here. So you can do a couple inhale, exhales, and you notice you have to find that balance and just see how that balance feels on the left versus the right now. This is a good time to take that inventory of your space and how you feel. So we're up on those back toes. The foot is not down. The heel is up. You are on the back toes. The front knee is bent. Okay, we're in a high lunge. Just connecting with our breaths, feeling this pose. But what we're going to do next is connecting with our breath here, taking our arms to goalpost arms, and we're going to go down into a low lunge. Okay? And then we're going to bend that, bring those toes back towards the mat again, and come back up on an inhale into our high lunge. And then we're going to go back down, low lunge. Find that balance, high lunge, low lunge. Okay? If we're on the chair, that right foot is here. That right leg is what's touching the chair. And we're using that right leg right here on the edge of that chair as we come up and down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And you can always hold here. If you don't want to bring those arms up, you can keep the arms down. Okay? So now, after you found that pose, those hips are forward. Good. Now we're going to take our pose and turn our feet around. So now my left foot is out in front and my right is behind me. So now I'm on my right toes in the back and my left knee is bent and I'm up in my high lunge on the left side. So now we're doing the same thing on the left that we just did on the right side. Connecting to our breath here. And then we're going to goalpost down to low lunge. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, finding that balance. Exhale. Bringing that belly in towards your spine. Feeling those hips just opening up. Getting a nice stretch here. Good. One more. Good. Now we're going to step up towards the top of the mat here. Good. And we're going to come back towards the front. So I'm going to turn back towards, this is the top end of my mat. So wherever end is the top end of the mat for you. But actually I'm going to face you this way for this portion. So now we're going to do a little bit of balance. So for our balance pose, what we're going to do is you can have your chair behind you. If you're not using the chair, don't worry about the chair part. Okay, let me move this back too so you can see me. Okay, so now we're going to go into our chair pose. So if you're at the top of your mat, chair pose, Utkatasana. Okay, we're going to step our feet. So maybe take those feet just about hips distance apart. So hips distance apart. Okay, my belly is in. I'm just going to find a nice mountain pose first. So I'm making sure I can root down through my ankles and my heels, through my knees, my thighs. I can feel the strength here in my hips. My belly is in. Roll my shoulders up towards my ears. Drop them down, palms out. So we're in a nice mountain pose. Just relax that body for a moment. Good. Take a couple of breaths. And from here, now we'll go into our chair pose. So what we're going to do is keep in that same position. Those toes are forward, just underneath your hips. You're going to bring those arms up. As you slowly bend your knees, don't even bring your arms up yet. Just bend your knees as if you're sitting down. Your butt is going backwards. So I'm going to turn this way so you can see a bit more. Just sitting down as if there's a chair behind you. All right, so here's my chair behind me. Sitting down, but I'm not sitting. But those who might need the chair to sit, feel free to go ahead and sit if you need to, because we're going to continue to increase this balance a little bit more for those who want to kick it up a little bit of a notch versus those who want to still take it a little bit calmer for right now, which I totally understand. I don't want anybody to overdo it. Yoga is about staying safe and working within yourself. So just because, I do one thing doesn't mean everybody else should be doing it. You're trying to work within what your body is allowing you. So we're not here to hurt ourselves. We're staying safe, okay? All right, so while you're in this chair pose, just staying low, just finding that balance here. Bringing the belly away from the thighs, bringing those shoulders up. All right, well, the shoulders are away from the ears, but the arms are up. Holding that chair pose. As you hold that chair pose, maybe you feel those thighs starting to fire up. They're getting a little bit warmer. Start rooting down through your left leg. So when I say start rooting down through your left leg, I mean that left foot is now giving you the support you need. So then you could try and maybe lift the right leg up. Maybe see if you can cross it over to your awkward chair position here. Maybe your arms are up. Maybe they're at your side. Now, my left foot is the more balanced side for me, right? So we'll see how it looks when I get to my right side. So don't worry, everybody's left and right is different. So again, notice the difference between one side versus the other. And we're still just trying to see if we can hold it, keeping that foot flexed, bending, pulling that belly in, going down. Good. Now we're going to come back up, slowly keep that right knee bent, and then bring your foot down. Good. Shake it out. And those of you that are on the chair, you would do the same thing I was just doing, except you're in the chair. If you feel comfortable bringing that leg up, use your hand to help support you to hold it. Or just hold that chair But the main thing is also the breath and bringing that belly in. So at all times you are still working, but you're finding that work that works for you. Okay? All right, so now we're gonna do it on the other side, but of course we still have to start with chair pose again. So here we go, Utkatasana. Bending down into that chair pose. And when you're in chair pose, you should be able to pull your knees back a little bit and see your toes. Like my toes can lift off the mat. My heels are pressed down into the mat. But the balls of my feet are here and everything else. But I should be able to find that grounding through my heels and the balls of my feet. My toes are not doing all the work, because then I'd be doing all of this. So we're trying not to allow that to happen. We're trying to put that weight back here. Put those hips to work, those quadriceps. Okay, pulling that belly in towards your spine. Connecting to your breath. So now you can bring those right toes down, finding that grounding space here. Maybe you try to lift that left leg up. Maybe now you try to cross it over. And notice your balance as you go into that awkward chair. See if you can hold it as you go back down. Holding that chair, pulling that belly in, finding that balance. Maybe you keep your arms here, or maybe you slowly start to bring them up as you find your balance. And eventually you can come back, one-legged Tadasana, bring that leg back down. Whew, and then my knee pop. Whew. Good stuff, good stuff. All right. Okay, my nose is sweating. All right, I'm gonna move my chair out the way again. All right, so now we're gonna go down to the mat. I'm gonna just take a nice seated pose. So we're gonna go to our Dandasana staff pose position. So in this position, it's always good, again, if you have a beach towel. This is an exceptionally large one I have. Or that yoga blanket, because this is a good thing to have when you are sitting. Sometimes you need a little more space. If you can sit on a blanket, it helps while in Dandasana especially. All right, I'm gonna point those toes towards you. In this pose, we're literally just working, just like not reaching for anything. We're just sitting, and I'm pulling my belly in towards my spine. My thighs are doing a lot of work. My legs are doing a lot of work. I'm pressing my calves, my thighs down towards the mat. My feet, toes are pointed towards me. I'm just holding it. Maybe I just lift my sit bones some, make sure they're my hips out to the side so my sit bones can really get in position underneath me. Connecting to my breath here. Just finding that. When you're ready, I'm going to bring those arms up on an inhale. And as you exhale, I don't want you to think about reaching for your toes. As you exhale, you're literally just bringing those arms down. My spine is still straight. Look at my back. I'm not collapsing. I'm literally trying to just slowly coming forward. My shoulders are still pulling. I'm pulling them away from my ears as I bring my hands down. So yes, my hands can reach my toes, but if that is not where you are, that's okay. And I'm not going to try to keep reaching for my toes. I'm just going to let my arms come down, because I'm trying to just keep my spine nice and straight. Keeping those shoulders away from my ears as I stretch down. Connecting to the breath. Keep connecting here. This pose is actually much stronger than it seems. For some people, they may think we're not doing a lot of work, but your body's actually doing a lot of work when you're not allowing it to just fall and drop. You're actually keeping a posture that a lot of us aren't used to. And many of us have been in front of computer screens a lot these past few weeks, even more so than normal. So this position is really allowing parts of your body that aren't doing the work they should be during the day to do some work and to get a little bit of strengthening in there that they need. Is really helpful for your core so that you aren't losing that strength through your abdominals and through your back, which we need so that we can keep that upright posture when we're walking and sitting. All right. Very good. From here, we're going to slowly come up. You can take that blanket from underneath you, move it out to the side. All right. So I'm just going to turn this way. I don't know which way looks better when I'm trying to lie down. I'll just do this. Okay. So we're going to lay back down how we were earlier. You keep those knees bent. We're going to bring those heels out to the side again like we did before. Maybe bring your knees together for a moment. Get a little inner stretch here, inner rotation on those hips. Let those knees knock together for a second. And we're going to bring them back out, and we're going to do those windshield wipers. Notice the sensation you feel now in those windshield wipers versus what you maybe noticed or didn't even feel earlier when we first did the wipers. And again, slowly going through these motions, inhale and exhale. Good. On your next windshield wiper, let's bring that right knee down and the left knee down. Maybe take that left foot, bring it over the right knee as you push that right knee down towards the mat, and bring that left knee back down so everything's still down. Your shoulders are down, so you shouldn't be like this. Your shoulders are against the mat. Your right arm is out. You can have it in a goalpost or just keep it straight out. And maybe try to take your gaze towards that right side, and you can feel that. Maybe you notice and feel that stretch through your entire right side body. It may feel good. It feels good to me. But taking that nice stretch through that side body, connecting to your breath here. And close your eyes if you like. Now on your next inhale, we're going to bring that left knee off the right. Put that foot against the floor. Slowly, as you inhale, bringing those knees back up. Let's windshield wiper it one more time. Slowly inhale, exhale. Inhale towards the center. On your next exhale, we're going to bring that right knee down. And then we're going to bring that left knee down. We're going to take that right foot. You should be able to, maybe you can bring it over that right or that left knee as you push that left knee down into the mat. I'm going to bring that left hand out to the side, bringing that gaze over the left shoulder, connecting to your breath here. Notice that sensation. Maybe this is a good hurt. If it's too much, bringing that left knee, that right foot over the left knee, you can allow that right foot to lie on the floor. For some people, that deeper stretch is needed, and it feels good to get it through that entire left side. For some, it's too much, so you can keep it off if you need to. But you're kind of feeling your body lunging towards the right side. Inhale as you come back up. Knees bent. Maybe let's bring our knees to our chest for a moment. And rock to the side. Feeling a nice rocking motion through your spine here. If there's any final postures, for those of you who know about those final postures before Shavasana, feel free. Some people like to do a little bridge, some like to do a little plow. Maybe we could do a little bridge actually. So let's bring our feet down towards the mat, keeping our knees bent. Maybe bring those knees or those feet towards, as if you're walking your heels towards your fingers. So your fingers are down. It's like you're walking your heels towards your fingers. From here, keeping your head against your mat, so your head shouldn't be lifted. You just slowly on an inhale, you're going to lift your bottom up towards the ceiling. Your shoulders are still down against the mat. Some people like to go a little bit deeper here. You can bring those hands underneath you, maybe connect the hands together. Feel those shoulders go deeper underneath you as you continue to press up into that bridge pose. Connecting to your breath here. You slowly come down, bringing those shoulders from underneath you. Gonna go back up into the bridge again. So again, tickle your fingers against your heels. That's how you know you brought them close enough. Slowly on an inhale, lift it up, keeping that head against your mat still. If you can bring your shoulders underneath as you lift up a little bit higher. Exhale as you bring it back down. We're going to do it one more time. Three bridges. All right. 3 is the lucky number. All right, one more time. Inhale as you lift it up, bringing those shoulders underneath you if you can. Feeling those hips pressing towards the ceiling. Exhale as you bring it back down, releasing those shoulders from underneath you. Allowing your legs to lay flat against your mat. You can bring them apart. Maybe your arms, you can have your palms up. So we're going into our Shavasana if you're ready to receive energy. Often people leave their palms up in Shavasana. Some people just want to continue to feel grounded, so they'll keep their hands down towards the mat. Whatever works best for you is absolutely okay. Some people often take their blanket. Some want to put it underneath their head for as if it's a pillow. Some also want to take a blanket or extra yoga mat, whatever they may have, roll it, put it under their knees as they lay. So you have some options here for your own comfort. I'm going to sit up as you lay in Shavasana. So please get in a nice, comfortable position. Some people like to get into a seated position here in Shavasana as they work on their meditation. But I encourage all of you to lay flat. Take this time to relax all those body parts we just worked. So, feeling your ankles and your toes. Just relax. Connected to your breath as you inhale. Letting that oxygen flow all the way down. Breathing it in all the way down towards your toes and your ankles. As you exhale, relax those toes and ankles. Inhale. Letting that air flow all the way down towards your knees and your thighs. As you exhale, relaxing those knees and thighs. Inhale. Bringing that air down towards your pelvis, your low back. Letting that air get where it needs to go into those muscles. And exhale, let all of it out. Inhale as you let that air go in towards your fingers and wrists, your forearms and your elbows. Exhale. Let it relax. Inhale as you let that air in towards your shoulders and your neck. Exhale. Relax. Inhale that air in towards your chest and your belly. Exhale. Relax. Inhale as you let that air in towards your mouth and your nose. Maybe squeeze them, squeeze your face. Exhale. Just relax your face. This is that moment when you get to do your final release after the work you've done. An instructor once told me we take 21,600 inhales during the day. So you're letting a lot of things in every day, all day. How often out of those 21,600 inhales are you releasing it? All the stuff we took in and saying goodbye to 21,600 times as well. So we have to let those inhales in, those exhales out. Don't hold the breath. Don't hold your breath. It's not needed. Let it out. I'm going to read another little statement, affirmation to you as we lie here. And I'll be quiet. Life is amazing, and then it's awful. And then it's amazing again. And in between the amazing and the awful, it's ordinary and mundane and routine. Breathe in the amazing, hold on through the awful, and relax and exhale during the ordinary. That's just living, heartbreaking, soul healing, amazing, awful, ordinary life. And it's breathtakingly beautiful. L.R. Nost. Reese Witherspoon posted that on Instagram, and I just loved it. So I wanted to share that with you as you continue to find this final resting posture. Take a few minutes just to enjoy yourself. Connect with yourself. Slowly start to wake ourselves up. Maybe start moving your fingers and toes. You stretch those arms up above your head, stretching those toes the opposite direction. Just waking a full body stretch up as you slowly start to move into a little bit larger movements. Maybe bring your knees to your chest. Take a couple of little rolls along the spine. And when you're ready, you're going to roll over to the left or right side, whichever side is the side you feel comfortable with, as you go into that position of rebirth, that newborn position. Laying on your side, taking a moment to reconnect with yourself and all that you've done this evening. When you're ready, you're slowly gonna use your hands to help you push up to an easy seated position, coming to the top of your mat. You can sit with your legs crossed. Take your hands to heart center. The light in me honors and respects the light in you. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice this evening. Thank you so much for joining me and giving me this opportunity. Namaste. Thank you. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening, and please stay safe during this quarantine, all right? Take care.